What's up, guys? This is Tom Burkhardt from Car Revs Daily in the 2018 BMW X3 M40i. So I'm going to try a launch control start now. So I've got it in sport, I've got traction off. Woo! Woo! Nice. Oh, what a car. Okay, so I'm going to go into Sport Plus, and we'll go out and do this handling road here in an undisclosed location. Oh, I'm absolutely loving this 2018 X3. You can hear the pops from the exhaust out back. Absolutely delightful. This new 3-liter twin-power inline 6-cylinder turbo is all new for 2018 and is one of the most remarkable things about this revamped X3. Dimensions stay about the same. And the powertrain options are still standard turbo 4 from about 40 grand up to this only inline 6 available, this M40i that comes in. With a $55,000 base price and goes up to about 62 with some of the options on our car, like the active suspension. I really hope you can hear that exhaust. Like the active suspension, executive package, and the premium package to get this fancy leather this tan leather cabin, and then the executive package for this giant new 12.3-inch iDrive screen with a round view monitor and all the safety stuff, giant moonroof. So yeah, 62 feels like awesome value for this new X3, which comes in on power between the Macan S and the Macan Turbo. 355 horsepower for this X3 M40i and 369 foot-pounds of torque. So that might not seem like much on paper, but this is basically the exact same motor that's in the M2, and it's superb. It's so amazing. Oh, it's so great. This is BMW's new motor that's totally modular, and every cylinder is half a liter. So the same motor for a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder is just obviously 4 of the cylinders, whereas this with 6. It has all of that new BMW character in the engine, which is with really enthusiastic exhaust vocals and a ton of low-end torque. This new M40i 10 foot-pounds of torque versus the X3 xDrive 35i from 2017, and the sprint pace is down like almost a full second. That old X3 with the inline 6 turbo did it in about 5.3 to 60 miles an hour, whereas this new X3 with launch control will blast off 0 to 60 in 4. So the performance of this SUV is absolutely superb, much better than even sports sedans could achieve in recent years, and it's absolutely unbelievably good and satisfying to drive. I love it. I love it. It's embarrassing to say that as a car reviewer, but I really do. So we did like a launch control start before. Let's try it with just like a what would be like a rolling start, so just 5 to 60. Oh my gosh. So there's a brief moment of spool up for the turbos, and then the engine comes on strong, and then after that there's like this giant turbo afterburner that goes absolutely ballistic, and it really creates a ton of power and a really satisfying drive experience. In addition, this inline 6 is so smooth, it's crazy. So like 4th gear, It's so smooth that there's barely any engine braking, for example. Third gear. Second gear's coming. Second gear. I mean, it just downshifts so smoothly and so effortlessly. It really speaks to how smooth this inline six is as a layout. Oh, and how amazingly awesome this BMW inline six is in particular. I mean, this engine is an absolute gem. Offered before on the M40i, which with xDrive like this car is actually quicker than the M2, and then the M2 itself has the same motor with a double clutch automatic instead of this 8-speed CF torque converter unit, and you know, M2 is about, like, I don't know, 4.4 or so, and the M240i can be just as quick. So to get this, the 4.6 in a big SUV, I mean, X3 is really big and proper sized. It's pretty phenomenal. I'm gonna pass this gentleman. Absolutely phenomenal and really, really satisfying, gratifying performance. Like you would not believe an SUV could achieve. Really great. So I've just kind of been talking about structure of this review. We already covered price. Some of its big rivals are, of course, the Macan, the Audi SQ. The Mercedes-Benz GLC 43 and GLC 63 coming up. That GLC 63 is the only midsize SUV that's actually quicker than this X3, and that'll do it in like 4 seconds through a 500 horsepower V8. But this 355 horsepower inline six is so much lighter and doesn't have any big compromises in terms of like weight or handling balance or handling feel. It's an absolute delight on throttle. It's so wonderful to drive. So this X3 is, let's talk about how it feels sort of like right sized, and then we'll talk about I guess any other details that might come up with the handling. One thing to bring out first off with the handling is that one of the big changes for this generation of xDrive is a more rearward bias. So that's more like about 30% front, 70% rear. BMW does not actually disclose what the breakout is, but I would be willing to gamble that it's pretty close to that versus 60-40 before, or 50-50 in some of the xDrive applications. So significantly more rear feeling, and the absolute best steering I've ever felt from an all-wheel drive car. I mean, it's so incisive and so bitey. Maybe not as good as the Nissan GTR steering, but that's pretty high praise. It just has so much feel and so much grip. So you never really get a sense of the front wheels getting power, but you do know that there's no traction braking at all. I mean, even in most of this drive, when I was in Super Sport with all the traction control off and everything, I mean, there's no sense of losing grip at all. So that is perhaps a downside for boy racers, but for everybody else and for regular owners, that's exactly what you want, because you can make the most of this power at all times. Drives so nicely. So let's talk about, like, this is sort of in the sweet spot of the SUV size scales. So this X3 has a really genuinely comfortable and pretty big back seat for 2 people, a little narrow for 3, but overall is really comfy and big back there. The seats now recline even more. You've got more luggage space than ever in the way back, and then of course all of that is really nicely finished in terms of like release handles in the way back to let the seats fold down. You've got adjustments for the seat recline right in beside the back seat itself, and then you've also got tri-mode climate control and an extra power cord back there for charging devices and what have you. Brakes are very strong. This, of course, this M Performance series of BMWs, after the M240i and X4 M40i and BMW M550i, are really intended to offer all the speed of an M car proper, but with fewer compromises, fewer worries about ownership costs over time, slash, like, you know, race engine reliability from some of the real M cars. But you get to enjoy the speed, and you get a little bit of the sexy exterior makeover too. So this X3 it feels like the right size because the roof is taller than Macan, so it's a lot more spacious feeling in the front seat especially. This new cabin is fabulously high-tech in feel and really, really glorious in all its touch points. And this car just feels wide. It feels wide. It feels like a serious, you know, an adult's performance car versus sort of like the 2 Series, which is just ultra small. So X3 definitely feels wide, definitely feels manly and macho, and feels very, very quick at all times. So much fun to drive. So there's lots of new stuff in the cabin here, but we won't really touch too much on that. The one thing I do want to talk about is the adaptive drive mode. So this car has a $700 option that brings adaptive dampers, and you can go full adaptive. That will adjust the firmness of suspension as needed. Or you can go, of course, into like Sport, Comfort, or Eco Pro. But one of the big benefits of this active suspension is that you can have a car with amazing body control like this X3, and also have a terrific ride. I mean, this car rides really, really well, even better than ever for 2018. Very, very impressive considering this amount of grip and style on the road. So you've got standard 19-inch wheels on the X3 M40i, but this test car runs the optional 20s, and there are 21s available. So if you really want the wildest look, you can go for those 21s. So X3 looks really, really cool outside. It's got all sort of like dark anodized finishes for the large new kidney grille up front, and its wing mirrors, as well as like gloss black dual exhaust pipes, M Performance brakes with blue calipers, M sills, a nice full M badge right here, and a couple other refinements to the exterior that just make sure that people know that this is a very special machine. And it definitely looks really, really cool. This new face of BMWs for the SUVs with the giant grille it's a little polarizing at first. The car looks a little bit like sort of like an X1 and an X5 had a baby, which I guess it should. And but really, like for all intents and purposes, a lot of people who aren't into cars will just think this is another, you know, performance X5 M Sport, and let them think that, because for the first time, there's not a huge change in quality and driver satisfaction when going from the X3 to the X5. So like, let me tell you like a dirty secret about the X1 and the X3 and the X5. They get, like, if the X1 is, you know, a score of I don't even know, they just get twice as good. Each of them is twice as good as the one before, which is fine, because the X1 is still like better than a lot of other cars out there. But if you drive the X1 and then you drive the X3 or the X5, you're like, oh, well, these are much, much nicer. So at this point, there's not that huge change between this X3 and the X5. This X3 really has that insulated and controlled and really extremely solid feel of the X5 that was missing on the previous X3. I guess I'll go do another lap. Missing on the previous X3. So you've got a lot of that sense of solidity, quality, great materials, great refinement, great insulation that used to be like an X5 exclusive, but you don't have any of the weight. I mean, this car is seriously light and seriously nimble. You can toss it around really, really easily. And the same can't be said for the X5. You know, good as it is to drive with the inline six, or especially with the V8, it's a big truck. It's a big truck, so it doesn't have the same level of point and squirt preciseness that this X3 has, and that's a huge advantage for X3. Along with all of its new design, new speed, new engine, and this super luxe new cabin. So, in case you can't tell, I'm a really, really big fan of this car. I love it. It's like an absolutely almost perfect performance enthusiast daily driver. I mean, it's just that good. It's so good. It's so fun. Let's see if we can let you hear the exhaust a little bit more. So right as you come off the gas, and especially in sport mode, let me come off the gas. Especially in sport mode, BMW than we recall from even the M550 from the other month. This new engine sounds amazing and brings really a throaty, authentic growl into the cabin that was totally missing before. So in addition to like a banging exhaust note, it just sounds really good in the cabin, in sport mode in particular. So like we're in sport, and then I'll put it in comfort. The car is like immediately like significantly quieter, even if you're driving it quickly. It's just significantly quieter. So, a real gem of a car, this 2018 X3. It's arriving in dealerships around the world in the next month or so. First one's arrived at US dealerships in November, December. Of course, built here proudly in South Carolina and shipped all over the world. This X3 is a huge achievement. Don't write it off as a facelift, because the chassis is more rigid, the ride is smoother, it's a lot quieter, more luxurious, but also a lot faster and a lot more fun to drive. But you still get the awesome, sort of almost BMW exclusive benefits of a full 50-50 even weight distribution, low center of mass, and just a really playful drive demeanor. Huge fan. Go give this truck a drive. I think that it would give the $80,000 or $90,000 Macans a run for their money, and is a very interesting proposition versus the new GLC. This is a great machine. A huge fan. 2 big thumbs up. We'll see you next time. This is Tom Burkhardt from Car Staley in the 2018 BMW X3 M40i. See you guys soon.